Okay, here we go. So,
Ooh, fuck. +5 bat? Nah, you're joking.
okay, okay, all right. So, with the layout of the GitHub, so if I go repositories, these are all my old ones. So we've got a backup for being able to store the main repositories files, which are then going to be changed to um be another repository. Fuck. So, the main plan is instead of having this thing with like with all the files in it, it's gonna be it's just gonna have the installer, updater, launcher. It's gonna have the launcher and its prerequisites: the updater, the installer, the uninstaller, and then I think, and a couple of others like a README that tells you what to do and stuff. And so then there's going to be another Git. There is going to be another Git repository. Not this one. This one backs up this one for the moment, and the file, and then hold on. Let me just git add git push u origin main. Push that. So it's gonna back up this one backs up what's in here for the moment, and then what's gonna be in the next repository, the actual game files part. So when it so what the all right, if I go here and then I drag this through, this is the current this is the wiki part. So if I go and I there is a lot of um a lot of browser wiki bullshit. Oh, I have to create it. Dumb. So let me just quickly. Um, nope. So it's public repository. So if people just want to download, I need to add a MIT license for all the stuff that we're going to use, because it's better if we use an MIT license than something else, unless you can. Um, this place is used with the installer slash update updater script to install slash update just install slash update open block studio VR. So we commit this, commit it directly to the main. There's no point. I've got the new code thing, the new GitHub code spaces. So if I go here, the new code view, instead of it looking like that Google Gaga bullshit, I can actually, jump to a file, select a branch, add a file, and then it'll pull it up here, and I can go here, I can select it. Oh, that's cool. Hold on. That's cool. So, yeah, I was just watching some photonic induction. So, with this, so we got so 6 repository games that I've made in ASP.NET. So we've got the official repository, the game files, and then the backup. So this one backs up NBS VR and the NBS VR files. Now it's manual for the moment, unless I can make a fucking GitHub workflow which clones the repository into a code space, zips it up, puts it in a .zip file, and then throws it into the repository. So it's going to oh, hold on. I'll just add. I don't need to add a README for this. There's no point. So yeah, got that. So that's basically so the backup's supposed to keep. The backup's gonna use Git LFS, cause it's the only thing I can think of. So in here we have the main files, Google Gaga stuff, and then I need to update the README with the new people. So if you go projects, and then you go here, can do some migrate things and stuff. So if you say add item, test. So it comes up as a draft, and then you can. So then if you go back to the GitHub, and then you go to, I think it's issues. You don't really see it here, but then when I convert this to an issue, I select the repository, and then I refresh. There it is. So then I can just go here. I can drag it to in progress, done, to be determined. Visibility, the new house, coding buttons. They were. Old house is still working. Buttons are still working. Basic spawn area is still going. And then I can just delete this. And then when I go to the issue section, no, it's still there. It's just you have to go here and then see, moved it from to be determined to done and then removed it. So then I can close the issue on here. It's closed now, so it's not there. And then if you want to see it again, just select open, closed, stuff. Back here, back down. So instead of it having all of these files, the update, the launcher, the preview of the launcher looks like. So if I go here and then I so I'm gonna just Control Enter, save all, commit for the moment because I need commit add more wiki pages, and then Control S. This is not nano, so I wouldn't X. All right, here we go. So we've got this is the recent thing. So I need to copy this, and then I need to and I can just do this. We got credits for the people who help. I still need to sort of I need to update this. Oh shit, hold on. Let me if one of our team members has a GitHub, I'll add it to the list. For a sort of commit. Change. Okay, so here we go. Now we've got GitHub for stuff. I gave. Okay, so what I did was here. Let me bring this up and let me select me and DMs. So when I gave as like, hey Alan, what would you consider your role to be? Because Alan's our new member. Alan picked community manager out of these out of the list of stuff. I'll post it in with it to the files. You got quality assurance, test who tests it, like test stuff. Probably get them to test the desktop version of it. We've got the GitHub manager, GitHub wiki manager, the pull request helper that goes through all the stuff. Yeah, I know I could have just given this a simple brand name, but hey, look, better if we split up teams into different sections so they manage different things, so they don't have a lot of work loaded onto them at once when they join. So like, oh, you have to manage thousands of files, things. It's like, just manage this part, and if you want to expand, just ask me and I'll give you another, and I'll merge your role with something else. Then we've got the community manager. The community manager does so in the discussions tab, GitHub already made this. So we got show and tell, QA, polls, ideas, general, announcements. Announcements are going to be like for the new updates. Show and tell is going to be for the new fucking the new shit that's coming. That's that's gonna be added in later updates, such explaining to people like developer builds and stuff. And so from there we can just fuck can just imgur links to stuff in show and tell, like get like what the fuck. Yeah, it's like that. Those fucking dogs were ramming around. But yeah, something like that. So you can sort of when there's a new update, I can post a link to a YouTube video explaining what the new update does. Right now, I'm sort of postponing the game side to more in favor to work on the launcher and to get it sort of basic in general and stuff. So what it does, it launches the desktop version, the VR version, the installer, and the uninstaller, and then I hope for 4.0, if I do get a working build, a working demo test build with drop mode out, after 4.0 comes out, I can sort of get integration with drop mode through the new API that is planned for 4.0. As Ben said, let me just search. Let me go open No Block Studio. Then I'll go to GitHub. Post a see how they've got their sort of Ben's got this sort of thing going on. There are 4 requests. The create export instruction by NBS format page. Fair enough. So if we go to issues, I lodged a thing back, I think 4 days ago. Can we at some point have the ability to access a sort of API so we can import importing what notes are and where they are, exporting the time signature and tempo, something like that. And so Ben's like, oh, we're planned for 4.0. Like, nice. And so if Ben actually implements an API that actually does sort of what I'm thinking with stuff, yeah, maybe. Oh, also, if I file open folder, I and then I GitHub and open this folder. Wait for it to load. Wait for it to load. Fuck. We've got so we've got the launcher here that does its thing. So what do? You run it. Give it a bit to start up. Hit run. It should open up PowerShell. Hold on. Give it a bit. It'll open a Python shell. It'll run the Python script, which I'm planning on building it as an exe file at some point, and then over time updating. Here we go. So buttons are normal. They scale with the window. The install doesn't work for some reason, yet the update works. Like, what? So, oh, probably because it's a fucking Python file. Wait, no, hold on. Updater.bat. Where is it? Installer launcher, images, docs. Oh, I'm sorry, what? I swear I must be tripping. Oh, here we go. File extension. So, we're gonna AES encrypt. Okay, hear me out on this. .virt. It's gonna be exactly the same as the fucking informate the sort of stuff, but instead it'll oh, don't worry, I'll provide fucking documentation on the file extension and shit. But it's gonna be like it's gonna be .virt. New file extension for virtual reality. That's what it stands for. Virtual reality. VIRT. It's going to be layered on top of the already existing .nbs file extension. So if Ben wants to just do, if I can somehow nag Ben just enough, not nag, provide a sort of, if I can provide enough information for Ben to be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll add this. In the 4.0 update, maybe we can get him to get support for this. If I can get a working test build out before 4.0 comes out, which I hope I can. It's probably going to be just drop mode for the moment while I work on the actual music making part. I've got a big giant fucking list of ideas in my head. I can imagine the entire thing at once. So yeah, I'll provide documentation on the file extension and how to use it. So if Ben checks in, or however they say their name, hi, I guess I'll just say it like that. Helke, like I don't know. Wants to integrate it into the 4.0 for compatibility. It's basically going to be a general, basic thing with a couple of extra headers, making the file maybe a bit bigger, maybe a couple megabytes bigger than what it should be, but it'll just probably be read like a normal NBS file and forget all the extra stuff, because the extra stuff in this instance is going to be the XYZ data for figuring out where it is inside the world. The notes are going to be spawning in the clouds, say 220, 60, 50, something like that. The header data that tells the game, oh shit, this is a new file format. This is the one that now we use. I'm gonna read all the data from this, and then from there, I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna grab the other head. I'm gonna grab the main data, the notes, the piano notes, and sort of transpose music to that. Then I will also grab the other stuff, such as the XYZ data, the header data, brightness, opacity, and color. So in drop mode, I want to be able to have it so over time it goes from day to night and back to day. If the person, like if the person who wants to make it do that can. So basically it's I'm structuring this off of Beat Saber's file format, where you can open it up in an editor and be like, yeah, I want to place my blocks here, that one there, up, down, left, right angle, left angle, brr, sort of something like that. And then from there, yeah, you can check out the the file thing. I'll leave a link to it when I make some documentation on some stuff. And so yeah, um, excuse me, I have. Fuck, my base station's aren't on yet. This is open. I'm just gonna close it for the moment. So when it runs, it opens up the launcher. If I press update, it's going to install the program into the main directory, which I don't want at the moment. But yeah, only us can see. If I could close the bastard. It tried to run it multiple times. Oh, okay. So with the I can share the save load manager script and stuff. So with this, when you load it, you put the text in here, you hit browse, you then hit save, saves it to the file extension. It's encrypted. And then here's the where is it? Here's the main actual thing that does it, because it's got system security this. So you got the static string key. It's just a shitty one that I put in that I just made up on the spot 11 hours ago from a Gitbook. Okay. So we went to try to switch from Gitbook to readthedocs.io. That didn't work. So we're gonna go GitHub Wiki, because Read the Docs is like GitHub. Literally, it's just a sort of seemed to be a copy of GitHub from what I read from their stuff. So it what it seems to, from what I see, so it AES encrypts the file with stuff, and then when it goes to decrypt it, it grabs the encryption key. I'm confused how I wrote. So it so when it encrypts it, it decrypt. Oh, okay. So it grabs. So when it encrypts it, it uses this key, and then when it unencrypts it, it uses this key. So when it does, so with it, it encrypts the file with AES standard encryption. With just with AES encryption, and then from there, it's gonna just do it. Like it'll do the thing, and then if I run this, um, it's gonna be it's gonna like what? Since the specified file, yeah, it's like whoa, whoa. It continues to yes, that's good. So it's just okay. So what it does, so saveload.py is going to use if I need to construct this into a DLL, which I have done, which should be in the directory. It's somewhere. Which it uses this. Where is it? I'll press. Holy shit! It actually tells me. Incut provides classes to allow the display position and control of widgets. TK seems to be the best thing that I can think of. File dialog brings up the Windows file dialog. So if I run this and then I do browse, see it pulls up the it pulls up the fucking like the file browser, virtual files. See, um, since it uses the general standard layout, where it should use the general standard layout for if I go here and then I go back back a couple of times and then I go to format, then I scroll down. So how they did this, I'll ask to them how they so information of all the data must be stored in the following order. Okay. The version of the new NBS format. This one's going to be, I think, 7. Wait, no, hold on. So they've uh, 1, 2, version 5. If they're gonna go with a version 6, I'll chuck version 7. Why? Because signed and in Little Indian. Strings consist of 32-bit integer and therefore many bytes of vectors. Header note blocks layers layers optional custom fuck. What do you mean? How are they signed? Like, what are they signed with? They hold up to 240 custom instruments. I'm gonna grow this shit off the .virt over version 5 because if we build up from version 0, then version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll start at version 5 and then call it version 1 of the new format. From here, if Ben and the other people want to do use this file format, I'm more than happy to just hand it over to them. Like, with this new format, if you wanted to, you could full on, like, you could full on repose and give a bit of, get more, like, sort of stuff to it. 4 parts, 2 of which are made header data. So, Zora in the old NBS, song name, first 2 bytes or a 0. Version. I'll have to ask them if they can. I need to download a. You know what? Hex. EDITO. Download a hex editor, and then I'll find one of those demo files, and then I'll pull it up in the hex editor. Okay, so it should be a short bite, short, another couple, and then some strings. Why do we need to keep track of the note? Why do we need to keep track of this of like of the thing? I don't think we'll I'm not gonna get the program to read last three things where it's like um the loop on, the max loop count, and the start tick, and then from placed what instruments they had. The song is X horizontal layers, which is why we're supposed to jumps. So jumps to the next. Pattern of the note block. Okay, so the amount of jump. So oh, okay. So this is per fucking note. Excuse me. This is fucking just and you're gonna make me add too much things to it. So if I control S this shit, save it to my download, and then I instead of opening it, let's show in folder, and then I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go settings. I'm gonna drag this thing into here. Boom. Here we go. Open source continuation. Scroll to the created a web studio. How about last word with at least one note. Delete song. This was re-added in version 3. What? Okay, fair. Okay, so how the note blocks are placed. How did the note block format followed? So if I copy this, then I back. So I think I got 4 short. Bytes. No. X, Y. Fuck. Code. I gotta spell this shit. I need to look it up. I need to. It's fucking. You spell it as fucking co-ward, like coordinate. This is coordinate data. What the fuck? What do you mean coordinate? A coordinate. And I correct it to this. Then I copy back. So the amount jumps and then proceeds to the next part. So this one, X Y. where the note space drop mode and editing. So I want to at some point also have this. So when you edit things, you get like little tiny note blocks, and when you place them down, in the sort of line, so how FL Studio does their so if I open FL Studio, right, give it a bit to do its loading thing, drag it across. So with clips, right, you have a clip. So boop da boop da. Then I do. So okay, so you have two different clips. One that does boop boop boop, and you have another one is something other. So you got a basic kick snare, then kick snare every two. So one boom 1 2 4 1. I know 1 2 3 4 1 2. So and then it's every 2 bar, like every I think it's every 2 notes per. So it's 1 note per bar, 2 notes per bar for the kick, sort of for regular editing. So that's how that's gonna work. And then let's do so coordinate shortness date bytes brightness data. So brightness data, the amount. Okay, so then I need to how bright a note block will be based on user based on I don't know what based on where it is globally. So it doesn't. So for the first version, it doesn't matter where the note block is. It's gonna either be fucking dark as all hell, or it's gonna be bright like the fucking sun. For the moment, and then it's gonna. So it'll just increase the brightness of the texture. Spelling. Fuck. Well, come on. No block. Where no block will be based on where it is globally. Let's do. Opacity is not a tick. Got a tick. 0. Okay, so a short. Uh. Okay, so opacity. I know opacity can be short because it's going to be like a 0 to 1. So opacity data. The how um I can't fucking how e I'll just change that in a how opaque the note block will be based on global values and file data. So you can either turn it on, you can either turn on so to have it sort of flash to the music, how your shitty Logitech keyboard can in the app set to your sort of thing and stuff like that. Let's do. What did we have? Opacity data, brightness, color data. not gonna be short. It's gonna be byte. Bytes. Color data. Uh, oh, here we go. Color data. Color data used to color data in the used to term IR T I that fucking just type it in. Used to determine the color the color data used to determine the color data used to determine the color data. No, the color data used to determine how rainbow how much shift the texture is based on FFFFF hex about hex color values. It applies the whole thing. And so it jumps to the next layer, jumps to the next tier. So it does its reading. The instrument of note blocks 015 or higher if the song uses custom instrument. So if I then here and then I delete this, then I delete the specific space in between. So if I save, then fill in File Explorer. If I open this in the browser now, which it should do, so it doesn't have its back thing because it's broken. It's a bit at the moment. Some also have files for this. Okay, Firebase and jQuery. Fair enough. So version 5 for. So here we go. Here's the note blocks. Oh, it did it. Okay, so this is how I intend to run the file format. Let me F10 this shit. So part 2, note blocks. The next part contains the information about how the note blocks are placed, what instruments they have, and what no. I'm probably gonna edit that soon. Songs divided into ticks, blah blah blah. Okay, so the pattern of the note block format is as follows for version 1 of this new format. So bytes for 2, short. So it's bytes, bytes, short, byte, 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 short sign. So it's going to be XYZ coordinate data. The XYZ coordinate data to determine whether it's placed in 3D space for the drop mode editing. And then the next one is bytes. It's a brightness data, how bright a note block will be based on where it is globally. Basically, how far it is moving across from the end of the screen to from the top to the bottom, sort of how they do it, but instead flip it so it's like you're looking and it's clouds are going over you. And then we got the color data used to determine how much hue shift the texture is based on with hex color values. So from FFFF to like hashtag 0, fucking million or something. Then it jumps to the next layer. Set this up. I didn't set this up right. Fuck. I forgot to include the jumps to the next tick. Oh, that would have been fucking painful. Hit save. Then, oh, here we go. Let me install this real quick. I go. Sorry, what? Motorola? Okay. So if I go here and then R. Okay, so XYZ, brightness, opacity, color, it jumps to the next tick. Where, and then it goes off the basic file format. The regular one goes off because a check here jumps to the next tick, then the next layer. But instead we have XYZ, brightness, opacity, color, and then there's going to be a couple more going in some point. So it jumps to the next tick, note block instrument, blah blah blah, based on what it is, and then you've got the key, the velocity, the panning, the pitch, and then from there it repeats for the next note. Here in the Note Block Studio, solo the song. Cannot simply. Okay. So layer, blah blah blah. There, let the file do itself. Let the instrument, this thing do itself. So we basically have the general sort of setup going on right now. I'll chuck the note block. I'll chuck this into. But let me just quickly edit this a bit. Here, scroll all the way at the top. And open source continue, blah blah blah. Source. Oh, that does that. Dun, dun, dun. If I drag this over here while I look at this, I need to find on the page. Develop it. Then I can effect where H2 is. Actually, no, I can edit this on the fucking website. About. You know what? Let's edit this directly on the new fucking website. About the new NBS dot VIRTE and I can extend it'll I'll just copy this and then did last time. About the new the was created to work with No Block Studio to bring new features to not block. They don't expect this. God. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. All right. The NBS format was created to work with No Studio. To bring new feature. This new file that can read just like a norm dot NBS dot, not fucking arrow dot s file, but there are new header. There are new there to come the with the new new extension change. Data types. Um, in the dot virt file are hit with AES encryption. Don't know. Just don't fucking and hit with some. Let's just look up AES and then chuck a wiki link because I need to advanced encryption standard. Basically, they just do goo goo gaga gobbledygook to the let's nope, that's the signedness. Let's right click, edit as HTML. Href, fuck that sidebar. In here, post that, run that. Tab, it'll pull up AES. Yep, there we go. All the data types .virt file. Hit with AES encrypt and hit with AES encryption. Strings consist of a 32-bit integer. Many bytes for the characters. The file is made up of 4 parts, two of which are mandatory. The oh shit. But the rest of but the first shit. The first the fucking to it, but the note block data has stuff data that can't be normally read with the software. The notebook data has but the notebook data has data that can't be normally read with the software. The next part contains placed, what instrument, how note blocks are placed, what instruments. Here we go. So then I'll find this. Section 2, class container. Oh, here we go. The next part contains information about how the note blocks are placed. 3D space. What instruments they have and what note. What instruments they have. How bright their door is. How OPCE the texture is. To how much hue shift the effects note. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna keep some of this. Pattern of the note block format is as follows. Let's find that. It is as follows. Format is mandatory for the new. Spec IFACATION. There we go. Go. Okay, new specific pattern of the new block format is mandatory for the new specification, and um and it is as follows. Then blah blah, and then the stuff. So we have number 2, number 1. The version of the new format, vanilla instrument, song length. I'm not gonna read one header, table wrapper, T body. Let's go left. Let's go right, left. Note blocks removed, added. MIDI. No. We'll keep the like only the desktop version, the VR software. This is going to be the basic. This is going to be the thing that tells everyone how the format structure is set up. I'm gonna copy everything. Don't worry. Just editing this. You're joining me through this long thing. I'm gonna copy this and add this shit. Time. Add a note block. So only use the desktop version of the VR software because added, right clicked, sort of blah blah blah. So off. Unavailable in the. I don't see a point in having to I don't see a point in looping something that you know might crash your computer. First, okay, so when I get the public build, out and stuff, and I can get drop mode working. First thing I'm doing is I'm running the mega collab through it because I know that's going to be a great performance tester. So this has the bonus notes. This is re-added. So the song length. I have graphs. When it reads the file, it's gonna store in a byte of data where, like, how long. Gonna read that byte of data of how long the song is. It's then going to sort of how Spotify does it. Okay, so. Oh, shit. Sorry, basically general media controls. So wherever the thing is, it reads where it is and then outputs it to this side. So like that, but VR, generally how it's meant. It was meant. How what I think it is. But that seems to be the thing. It seems to be the thing. Start with an E, not an A, you fucking dumbass. The bird hit with ENCRY. There we go. No, don't fucking space, you bastard. So it'll hit with AES encryption unless Ben wants me to change the file encryption to his standard. And I guess I'm going to stick with general AES encryption because it's shit. No, because it's the only thing that came to mind. Because I didn't want the VIRT file to be a basic text file. I want it to be an actual data file, like like the .nbs extension that actually stores stuff. It actually does what it is instead of this gobbledygook goo goo gaga nonsense. But yes, so this is I'll save this. Um, Save. Yes. Alrighty, it'll save its 15. Boom. Here's the here's the thing. They'll be marked as green. Yeah, I've yet to mark them as green. I'll mark them as green soon. But that's basically everything I have so far on the installer, the the general the general thing. Like based like on this stuff. So I'm gonna just drag and drop Nyancat, see what we get. Nyancat recreated in Roblox by what? Okay. So the first one, so from what I'm reading, if I do here and then I do that, I'm just reading off straight here. So information about the file, the data in the following order. So the first one is okay. First 2 bytes are always 0. That's correct. Number 5, the version of the new format. The next one is 10, 9E, so that's like 98 bars. Song length, and then so done. 2 bars, so NBS version for the file format. 10 instruments. The length, the layer count, there's only 2 layers in Nyancat. Song name. Get the layer, so layer count 24, I think. And here's and then the rest of these bytes are followed with the name of the thing, and then and then the song author, the name, then the tempo should be somewhere in tempos probably. Song name, the author, the original, the tempo should is 7 TPS, or it's either 20 TPS. 7. The time signature. There's a lot of things. So each one of these is an. Let's go read the specification. So block jumps to the next tick. Amount of jumps to the next ticks will be at least with no block in it. So 3A. Next layer jumps to the next layer 64. Then the note block instrument is number 64. Oh no, it's either next tick, next layer, and then the instrument is number 0. The note block key is number 0. Then we got the velocity, panning, and the pitch. Pitch number 10. So if I were to go back and then open up Note Block Studio, NBS player mode dot bat. What is this? Oh, it just gives it it just gives it songs. Okay, G5. Oh shit. So, G5. So, and a black key. Okay, so from 0 to 87, where 0 is A0 and A7 is C8. So there's 22 layers, so I need to... Oh, excuse me, what? No, there's, okay, so there's, let's just go, let's do 14 then. Can't find fault, what the fuck? That's confusing. Actually sounds kind of good. No, I don't want to say that. But why, when, like, I'm confused. I can't find the note data, even though it says... What? Excuse me? I should be able to find this motherfucker because it's the fucking hex editor. It pulls everything out of everything. But, yeah, thanks for watching this 1 hour and 2 minute video on basic file format and structures. So, oh, Kingsway just got an accident. Once I... So... that stretch. So, so I'm going to post this, then I'm going to post the required file, and then I'll be issued... Well, I'll rewatch it. Said, but yeah, that's basically it for everything this video. I hope you had a good time watching. At some point I'm probably going to make these videos public so people can look back at the history of how we developed it. And so if so, I'm just going to add a bit of disclaimer. Hello people. You've just watched me code live. I'm probably not going to do it just yet in terms of publishing it to the public. It's still going to be unlisted unless we can get a working build and, actual people are interested in this. Then I'll, and then get a, from every team member and stuff. If we do get more, hey, we've got some videos from back when development was going on for the beta test build. And so do you want to publish these public so people can see how we develop these in a sort of playlist that's either unlisted for the moment, something like that. I'm just gonna make a whole playlist with these, so every time I record another one and I post it, I can be like, hey, added a new video to the playlist, check the pinned messages and stuff, blah blah blah. But oh fuck, they added fine pitch. Max and Block Studios plus. The next layer, or we go back to the note block, so it just continuously reads that. So we start at layer -1 if step. Okay, so it just continuously jumps to the next tick. until it finds something, and then boop, read. Hello, we found a note block, and fucking. I'll build it off NBS and modify it a lot. Because I'm not building it. I'm not building this fucking reader myself. I'm building a demo reader that makes the files so that Ben can play around and discover and figure out what it's doing. But I am under no circumstances making my own file fucking reader. I'll use a file explorer. I'll make my own file explorer. Just use fucking basic general Windows. But I'm not touching my format after making this. I'm just gonna open community standard it. I will touch it. I will improve and I will make it better. And I will actually update the formats. Every update that adds a new feature, there's a new format. I hope. I want to make it that. If people want to get to making this new feature, they just add another set of code, another line of code. So it's going to be in a code block. If they've made themselves their own reader for their own websites and stuff in like HTML, I'm gonna add like a C# block that reads the new format, so they can just Control S, Control V into the new code, and so it should just straight up work. I hope, but I'm gonna modify NBS by a when it comes to doing. They've already figured out what it is. It seems like Package Galaxy. What? Excuse me? Pip install Pine. See, okay, so they've pulled Package Galaxy. So now we're on the fucking Ben's Bernard Costa. So if tick, but I'm just gonna download the fucking thing. I don't know which one it is, so I'm just gonna open up both and download both because, excuse me, that's a .whl format. Fucking, excuse me. What? Where? Let me open. How do I open with? How? Properties. Opens with pick an app. Let's go. Fucking. Not Visual Studio. Let's. Okay, so that's not opening. I guess we're going. Files in the inits. So for the moment, I'm gonna drag and drop this to place the files in the destination. Folder. Go. Like the folder, open it, and if anything needs to save, blah blah blah, So setup.py, what does this do? Package data. So it sets normal, alright. MIT license, so yeah, I can modify the shit out of it. License, yep, it's a MIT license. Okay, so we got the init.py. I don't know what that is. Here's file.py. This should be it. That file. I hope. So current NBS version 5. Okay, byte struct short init. Class instrument note layer with open file name RB as file object return parser. So if I were to run this, what would happen? Jack shit. Okay, that's fine. I think I just have to version current NBS default instruments init equals 16 blah blah blah. This is the header part, and then it reads the file for note in sorted. I'll alright, here should be when it give me 1 second. Where is it? Here it is, just tempo loop max loop start. Oh, here we go. Read numeric by yield. Yield? Excuse me, bitch? I'll ask Beat if he Beatzoid if he can I'll ask a couple people if they can. I'll give my NBS. If they're probably gonna watch what's going on. I'll give the file to Beatzoid and Alan for them to work to file format. If they want, they can go ahead. If you just want, you can go ahead and add some more files, some more like file headers and stuff. Just as you saw me do, edit the web. What's going on and what you've added, so don't accidentally run unsigned code that sub sudo r. My information that happened that one. Yeah, but I'll probably since there's project both to work on in spare time. I just need to add the new file formats to this, and then from there I should be able to import this in, read it, and then from there I should be able to hopefully create a basic. Should work. I hope. But take that. Because I'm not skilled in Python extremely. I can read it, just not very well. But I'll let you all go. Thanks for watching this 1 minute 13 video. Ah no. Oh, I made it too long. But hey, get the stuff down. Blah blah blah. At some point, if I manage to get a working test demo, a working demo of NoteBlock Studio VR, I want to drag Ben in. I don't want to ask Ben if you can join the general channel, so I can just explain what's going on. Normal stuff. So I can show them what's going on, and also if I can get a working demo of the file explorer. To get a demo of the tech, not the tech, set up first, so we can say, hey, so we're gonna ask Ben or checks that this person, one of the like, hey, do you want to look at this new file structure once we've got it working on how it's gonna store, like, you can just get the program to not read the first initial bytes of the file and instead skip to like 3 or 4, ending on the new file format. Obviously, it'll honestly, I think this new file format will be greater because we can actually, so it probably be independent of what it is. So when you import, like, hey, when you export from save to go to the new, what I hope for the first, revision, um, until I can ask Ben something. Go from file format. Now gets the I'll make an importer slash exporter that does this. Go from No Block Studio. You have to open the file up in a editor. Either you've made it yourself using the website that use the documentation, or a pre-built editor. So from there you edit it, and then you need to before putting it in the program, either the 3D program, like the Note Block Studio VR, you need to open the file up in the editor, edit the files of like where the location is, based on XYZ coordinate values data. It will read the data, but it'll read the data, but it won't display the note blocks correctly. So you have to continuously loading the new. I hope to add a built-in editor to the program at some point. Probably be really, really shit. But I do want to. So instead of having to go in and edit the files, do a couple of things, be like, oh, I want to do it here, this, that, and that. It'll then read the file from there. It'll, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're back online. Nice. So it'll go from there. It'll do the reading thing. It won't read the stuff that doesn't have the data. Maybe it will. It'll probably default it to center line in the sky. I hope. That's essentially how I want basic exporting to go with. So you load it in the program. It'll ask you, hey, this seems to be a new file since there's no data pre-written to the thing. Do you want to initialize all note blocks, all notes? And so what it does, it puts them all in a straight line, a meter apart. So when they spawn in, they go along, and then when they don't, and when they go to leave, they just disappear entirely. They just delete themselves from the thing. And so it'll initialize it, set it so it's above your head in the old house, and then from there it'll do the general basic stuff, do the reading, your general stuff, and then it'll read the files. It'll be like, oh, I got to place them here, and then the initialization process is the first thing, so it does the game doesn't, so Note Block Studio VR doesn't crash on you when you try to load the file. Basically how I want it to work out. I need to read this fucking so basically that's how how it I not expect it to work, I just hope. So yeah, basically that's it. Gobbledygook, goo goo gaga. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to pull open a fucking GitHub request in indie discussions. For it, just chuck it in the chuck it either in general or any channel that it basically fits. There's gonna be more categories. Average thing. So that's basically it. I hope you've had a great time watching this. It's watching. Have any more questions? Go to the GitHub repository, go to discussions, set up a general, set up a discussion in any of the category channels. Yeah, pretty much. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. This should give you enough enough onto the new format that Alan and I hope I can ask Alan and Beat to sort of help work on this with me. If not, then it's fine. I'll work on it myself. After my fucking computer every 7,007 seconds. Yeah, basically it. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, if you need to chuck a message up, chuck it in the fucking this place. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. See us. The next documentary that lasts for an hour.